Hi everyone, my name's Amy and I'm a volunteer with Paws Think. This is Momo. He's also a volunteer. One of the programs that Paws Think does is called Paws to Read, and it's where folks who are working on their literacy can sign up to read with one of the Paws Think therapy dogs. And so today we thought we'd do a story time since we can't go out and visit all of our friends in the community. The book I chose today is called Wake Up Woods, and it's all about the spring wildflowers or spring ephemerals that are just about to and are already starting to bloom and starting to wake up now that spring is here. So these are flowers that are really short-lived and that you can find yourself if you go out and visit our natural areas. Lots of these beautiful flowers are just starting to appear. So today we're going to be reading the verses, the poetic verses in here. They're by Shane Gibson, but this book also has a lot of really great info alongside the poetic verses provided by Michael Homoya, who is a botanist and was the president of the Indiana Native Plant Society, and he has a lot of published guides and pocketbooks, and he's lots of great info from him, and then beautiful illustrations by Jillian Harris. So let's get started. The first plant is called Bloodroot. And it says, Bloodroot red, quick flash of white, up this morning and gone tonight. Stay, Momo, stay with us. It's story time. Sometimes I have to bribe him to stay. So Bloodroot has this beautiful white flower, and usually the petals only stay on for a day or two. So if you see a Bloodroot flower with its petals on, you were there on the right day, which I think is pretty fun. And it has a really fun big lobed leaf that grows behind it. Okay, the next ones are called Trout Lilies. A beautiful picture here. It says, Trout Lilies, dappled in sun, mottled leaves, a solitary flower, a ray of hope for ants and bees in an April shower. So the trout lilies will grow these leaves first, and they grow in these big groups, these big colonies, and only when the flower has stored enough energy from the sun will it create two leaves and then a flower. So you might see a whole patch of just single flowered trout lilies with only a few double flowered trout lilies. That makes sense? Anyway, they're special. Just like you. Okay, the next ones are Spring Beauties and Cut Leaf Toothwort here. It says, a toothache cure, radish hot, a root to eat, maybe not. So it's talking about how in the past, folks used to think that with plants looked like a certain body part, that it might help that body part, like be medicine for that body part. So people thought that these flowers sort of looked like teeth, and so they thought maybe it'll help with toothaches. It's also part of the mustard and radish family, so they're kind of spicy. Spicy. It's a good boy. The next ones, see it here, Momo? They're called violets. Beautiful picture here. Fritillary host or cupcake topping. Yellow, white, and purple, color popping. So violets can be purple or yellow or white. And a fritillary is a kind of butterfly. Here's what they look like when they're grown up. But when they're babies, their caterpillars will eat the violets. So they need violets to survive. Violets are their host plant. And that's what they look like when they grow up. Fritillaries. Oh, another fun thing about violets are their seed pods. They explode when you touch them when they're ready, and so they kind of shoot their seeds all over the place. The next plants are Dutchman's breeches and squirrel corn. Dutchman's breeches and squirrel corn. When I dream a springtime dream and make my springtime wishes, a wood thrush sings eulay and bees buzz amongst squirrel corn and Dutchman's breeches. So you can see they look pretty similar. But Dutchman's breeches is one of my very favorites because they're shaped in such a funky way. And they're shaped that way because they have a special relationship with the common eastern bumblebee. And it's shaped just perfectly for the bumblebee to wiggle inside and get to the nectar and the pollen. And so the Dutchman's breeches bloom right around the time that the common eastern bumblebee is waking up from their winter slumber. So I think that's special. The next ones are called Virginia bluebells. It's being so good, Momo. Bottom land of blue sure looks delicious for a nectar-loving bee with a long proboscis. So a proboscis is the name of the feeding part that an insect has. So you can see the proboscis on this hummingbird moth. It's kind of like that curly Q there. And they unfurl it, and that allows it to go down into the flower where they can get the nectar. Tasty, sweet nectar. Wood poppies are the next ones. Wood poppies with a cute little mousy. Yellow-orange sap, Native American dye. Few are as lovely as our native celandine. So this was used as a dye for fabrics and stuff, which lots of plants you can use in that way. Wood poppies. Wood poppies, Momo. Good boy. Okay. The next ones are called Trilliums. It's a white one and a pink one. Or red one. Petals, sepals, and a whirl of leaves. Easy as counting 1, 2, 3. So Trilliums start with tri, T-R-I. So they all have 3 leaves, 1, 2, 3, and 3 petals. Kind of hard to see on that one, but you can see the 3 petals on the white one. Mayaples! Yay! I love mayaples. There's a photo of it there. They grow low to the ground. It's beneath the umbrella of a mayapple's leaf hides something tasty, a box turtle's treat. So you can see that box turtle here really enjoying that mayapple. So they produce this little round green fruit that drops to the ground. And then when it does that, the turtles will find them and munch on them. And they're not the only ones that like them. Some other critters in the woods will also seek them out. Pretty tasty. Pretty tasty. Okay, our next one are called Jack in the Pulpit and Green Dragon. Ooh. In warming woods, growing tropical and tall, bearing bundles of red berries that gleam in summer and fall. So Jack in the Pulpit will produce this funky looking red berry thing, which some mammals and maybe birds, some mammals and birds will eat that, but it's poisonous to humans, so don't eat it, kids! Wild columbine and fire pink. Columbine and fire pink for hummingbirds' travels, an essential drink. So hummingbirds are attracted to red things, so these are their favorite flowers, and that's why when you see a lot of hummingbird feeders, they're red, and it's because hummingbirds that's their favorite color, and that's what they're attracted to. Christmas fern. Lots of critters on that one. A fiddlehead, no strings attached, unfurled beauty, Spring's here at last. And on this Christmas fern, it has a little frog called a spring peeper. And they're starting to wake up too. You'll hear them calling out, looking for friends, looking for mates. And they make this really cute, like, peep, 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 peep. And it's really cool. If you YouTube spring peeper calls, they're fun to listen to. And I bet you've heard them before if you live here in Indiana. The next plant, oh, that was our last plant. But it has a wonderful glossary full of all the words that we learned, and an appendix too. It also has pages about where you can find some of these plants, and also some information about the Indiana Native Plant Society. They have a great website with lots of more information about plants and native plants to Indiana, and a lot of great stuff. So if you'd like to learn more, head online. But we want to thank you guys for joining us here today for story time. We hope to see you all soon out and about, and we hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. So thanks for joining, and see you next time.